Tune in, y'all. We about to do a interesting live stream today. And yeah, we just chilling right now. Okay, so yeah, I'm about to roll it up. And then we gonna get into some chilling today while I chat with you guys. So let me make sure my volume's up because sometimes it don't be. And you guys make sure y'all hit that like button as you come in if you're not a hater, okay? And you actually want to be a part of the community. Like I said, I hope y'all doing pretty good today. Had a safe, productive day. Rest if that's what it is you did today. Regardless, tune in. Tune in. I'm about to move this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. And like I said, I told you guys we're going to be talking about some mammals of the deep today. So tune in. We are. Tune in. We are. Oh, there they go. Hiding from me. Ooh, yeah. What's up? What's up? All right. And don't worry, I'm finna hit my camera in just a minute. How has everybody been doing? How has everybody been doing? What have y'all been doing today? Because y'all know I'm a little nosy. If I don't do nothing else, I'm going to check on y'all, see how y'all doing today. And like I said, don't be shy. Join the conversation. And if you're not a hater, hit that like button. And like I said, I am chilling. And y'all welcome to come in, join the chat below. Trolls, you will have to go. We just do not have the time. But for everybody else, come kick it. Come kick it. Do what it do. And if you like knowledge, you're welcome to get it here. And like I said, let's start some conversations we always start, shall we? And I'll give you guys a little bit of time to come in, say hello, get comfy, read the room if you need to. And like I said, if you ain't a hater, hit the like button. There's nothing wrong with doing something completely free. Hi, Greg. How are you, sweetie? Hello. It's one of my uncle's names and my first cousin. What's up, Greg? Pretty cool people, too. Hi, G Valence. How you doing? Tune in. Oh, sorry. Look, thank you for correcting me, Dom. Hello. How are you, sweetie? I guess we know to call you Dom now. What's up, Dom? Good deal. Is it really your birthday, or y'all just be saying that? It'd be a lot of people random birthdays on here. Thank you to whoever hit that like button because you're not a hater. Thank you so much. Tune in. Tune in, lovelies. What's up, Jen? How you doing, baby? And remember, this is an adult's chat, so if you're not an adult, go ahead and get out of here, babies. Okay? Go ahead and keep your imagination and your youth, okay, and your peace of mind while you're still a baby or a youngin', okay? We not gonna grow you up quicker than the world's gonna try to over here. We're just gonna get you out of here. Go be young, okay? Go be young and clueless for a little bit. And if I'm able to drop some things that can help you along the way in a child friendly way, I definitely will. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of early direction, but this is not the chat where I can give you that, okay? What's up? Nothing wrong with that. What's up, 30s gang? How old are y'all in my chat? What's up, 30s? I be thinking a lot of y'all are younger than that, but it's good to see so many people who are of age, because I do be wondering what y'all age range is sometimes. I know when I put it in the chat before I come on here, I always tell YouTube, I do not want any babies in my chat, okay? 21 and up me. But sometimes I don't think they 21 and up. I think they still just do the basic, you gotta be 18 or whatever. So, yeah. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts, baby. Whoever. I'm not sure. I don't have my phone out, y'all. My phone is never charged. Don't mind me. But thank you so much. I'm literally charging my phone now. Okay, so when I cut it on, I'm gonna give you a proper thank you. Thank you so much. You guys, how is everybody doing today? So well, I hope. Are you guys excited to learn about some interesting facts today? At least those of you who are gonna tune in. If you haven't joined my members only on my Patreon, I sure hate it, y'all, because we finna be giving all the good tea. Okay, we gotta keep people, okay, in their right state of mind. So if anything happens in any environment, most people can still be prepared regardless of their resources. You can start preparing resource wise. A lot of things is going to be, how quick can you think, okay, yeah, and so on and so forth. So I think a lot of times knowledge is power, and the more knowledge you have in the correct areas, the less likely you really have to worry about resting in fear. Okay, there's no need to rest in spirits of fear if you're prepared. Okay, just prepare. We all have time to waste your time doing the right stuff. Okay, I know we get bored sometimes, but you should never be that bored. You can't really keep your mind, focused on the things that matter for real. Yeah, I think I get money for gifts. I think it's just because when I like on here when they send these gems, because it's kind of newer, but when they send them, I think like after a while they add up and they cash out into cash. But I don't think it's like, it depends on how big of a gift you send. I know it's kind of iffy like that, but like I said, yeah. I didn't like your channel at first, but you speak some hard truths. Oh, that's okay. I'm not here to be liked. Like I said, I'm here to tell the truth, and the truth hurts. If I came here to tell you lies all the time, the only thing I'd be doing is encourage you to stay on a path of destruction. So, as somebody who doesn't like to see anybody, regardless of their race and background, go through certain things, I feel like talking about the raw is still more of a blessing to my own life than coming here and acting like every day is just a kick the shit day. It's not. Okay, we've wasted a lot of time kicking the shit. A lot of times with the wrong people too. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with coming here and staying on your purpose around people who not scared to be on theirs. And if you on that, you welcome to stay here too. Some days we talk about more serious conversations. Some days we do come here and just chit chat and laugh and catch up with each other. But knowledge is everything. And you don't have a lot of time to get raw knowledge. They're always changing and critiquing things to fit their narrative and agendas. So you better get your knowledge while you can before it's tweaked again. Okay? No, thank you, J Dog. I'm not picking any numbers. But yeah, it's okay. I know a lot of people come here, they don't like my channel, but they can't stay away. What is a transmission? In a car? Are you a transmission? Did you ask me about tranny? Oh my God. Y'all ain't got no chill on here. No, I'm not a tranny. You said not any in my country. I'm quite sure you guys have them in your countries. Most of your countries had them well before ours were like just promoting them everywhere. So it's okay. And if you are, that's fine. Some cool ass trannies that exist. Some of them are just very, very deceitful. So like I said, I don't try to judge people. You just never know who's chosen, who's called. That's the sad things about it. You have to meet people. So I'm not going to judge from a distance. I allow people to show who they are in character, and I go from there. Other than that, everything's hearsay, right? I like to be the judge of things myself. You may get a different experience with people than me. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, I try to give people a chance until you can't. Um, and that's like I said, that doesn't hurt my feelings. People are people. A lot of people don't even know what women look like anymore. So, yeah, you're into what you're into, baby. As long as you like it, honey. Bye, sweetie. Talk to you later. Voodoo is everything. For hundreds of years, you've been waiting on Jesus to do something, and you still haven't done nothing. All the praise, hold on, all the praise you give Jesus, and Jesus still can't come through for you guys. Yeah, you can push that back or move it over here if you need to. Whatever you need to. Oh, that's so cute.
Uh-huh.
I think she will love it.
Yeah, she's gonna.
Yeah.
And if she's too sturdy, she doesn't fall off. You could always just.
And I was gonna say, if you want, you could take this and just put it like right here, if you want to. Because I'll move this in a minute when I'm done. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Great job. Hi, guys. So, you said, what is your favorite food place? It really just depends on what my mood is for the moment. Like I said, it depends on what I got a taste for. I'm wonderful. How are you, sweeties? How are you, lovelies, today? Y'all, I thought it was going to be a warm day today. It is chilly as hell, okay? Chilly, chilly, chilly. And I think just because it's so gray outside, too. Let me put this over here. Let me see who sent this, because I'm nosy. Yeah, I'm nosy. What y'all got going today? It's still pretty early on a Saturday. Still pretty early on a Saturday, y'all. Let me see something. I'm trying to see who's... Let's see. I think I had to go back. Who was I going back to? Um, oh, okay. Oh, Crash Foreigns. Thank you so much. I had to give a what you call it, y'all, a proper shout out. I know some of y'all are like very gay. That's cool, but if y'all looking for men, go to a men's shop. And for those of you who are just being weirdos, you obviously know that I'm a biological woman, okay?
You're okay. You're okay.
I know that it's a lot of people who are into certain things. That's cool, but don't be pushing your agendas on everybody else. Okay? Some of us are just chilling. Say hello to Shadow. Y'all see Shadow up there? Lord. She's playing with this little thing on our cat tree, y'all. She is going in on a little thing too.
She loves it.
That's fun. Get it, Shadow. Get it, girl. I'm scared to like let it go because I know it's gonna stay probably, but I just feel like it's. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? You say it's early, but it's dark, and it's still pretty light over here right now, so it ain't too dark over here. I was sure like, baby, did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? Baby, look, I'm like, what is that? But yes, what y'all got going on a beautiful Saturday? I don't have kids and I don't like the Power Rangers. So if I had kids, my kids would be watching all the old classics and stuff. Probably like Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes type of stuff. Yeah. I don't know, just the older cartoons maybe. Yeah. What was what? What are you talking about, Dickerson? Is you a child? Well, you might be somebody, baby, on a picture or something. You a cute little big headed baby. Somebody cute little big head baby in the picture. Oh no. Yeah, my cat. Y'all is very dry. Y'all need some water. Y'all a little dry with y'all conversation today. Shadow, you look like you are just Indiana Jones looking for stuff up there, girl. Did you find it, girl? Shadow.
She likes it.
She do like it. She don't care. She was like, that was fun. She's too cute.
I want to get a huge one.
Oh no. No, they probably don't understand it all. I love the older stuff. Even I remember like even chilling with my grandma sometimes. You know, you with your grandma, your grandparents, whoever, maybe your old head auntie, whoever, they be watching like they stories, like they soap operas, stuff like that. Them soap operas be good as hell. Okay, you be up there like, so Jenny finna go with her? Oh my God. That's her husband, girl. Okay, this it be better than Lifetime movies, okay? And don't stop there. Have y'all seen them old westerns, like them old people westerns? Baby, they be so good. Okay. I don't care what y'all say. Like in the heat of the night and shit, I be in there watching that shit like this is fucked up. You know, like damn, they recorded this and put it on TV. Like it's just the themes behind stuff was way deeper. I feel like they actually meant they plots, like they had to, if that makes sense. So I miss the times where they actually used to put a lot of effort into their plots and stuff like that. I feel like it made it worth watching. I don't care how old all the people on there could have been in a grave. But then was some of the most passionate acting people you've ever seen. Like for real. Like compared to today, everything's like way fluffed up. I just like seeing the older stuff too. And like I said, I don't know about all the oldie stuff, but I do know about what, I was used to watching all the time before we got used to seeing a whole lot of, reality TV and stuff like that. But our reality TV was pretty hit. And I ain't gonna lie, our reality shows seemed pretty fun. Yeah, I remember they used to have shows like Date My Mom, Next, Room Raiders. Man, y'all them shows used to be so damn funny. Next, what was it? It was The Real World. I don't know. I guess the shows that I used to like used to be so funny to me. Okay. Even Pimp My Ride used to be an interesting show because I'd be like, ooh, they can do that to a car. And then, like certain stuff was just so interesting back then. I feel like they actually pretended to care. Okay. I don't watch TV now, so I don't know what they got. Y'all see my cat going ham. Just Just pretend she's not there. Because, baby, she going in right now, okay? Yeah, okay, probably can't see she's on her cat tree. She deserves a ring. She's a ring. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Ah, gracias. Bueno, me encanta mi gato. Oh, you should. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. It depends on what type of mood you are too. I think most animals, pets, they go off your mood too. So if you pretty chill, you keep things comfortable, stuff like that, I think you'll love your cats and they'll love you back. They will love you back, okay? Totally different energy than puppies, but I ain't gonna lie, I want a puppy now too. And I'm probably gonna get one because I want one. I'm just worried about how this one up here is gonna, how she's gonna take having a little creature in here with her. I don't know, but we'll hope she'll do good. Yeah, she's still a kitten, so she's been like kind of, she's spoiled. I ain't gonna lie, she is spoiled. She still needs all her snuggles and, still be up under you all the time. But I love that. I just hope she can kind of keep that for another little puppy. Maybe a Yorkie or something. Shadow, what you doing, baby? Okay, you climbing? Okay. Okay, look at you. You go, girl. You better climb. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you are that cat. Okay. She said, baby, I'm here now. Nah, yeah, I'm just messing. Yeah, I'm used to having more dogs and puppies. Okay, I like different types of creatures too. Hold on, y'all. Gotta make sure she's safe up here. Are you safe up there, baby? Okay. Oh.
Push it.
No, it didn't do nothing.
That's this side.
Okay. I think she'll be okay. She is having a ball. I love it. I love it for her. Okay. I didn't realize she would like it right here in this area, but you know what? That's fine as long as I can re-sweep the floor and stuff and she's not in the way. Because, boy, I be trying to sweep. She be up there attacking the broom and stuff. I'm like, girl, get back. Get back. And I don't sleep at night anyway. I don't really do all that at night at all. So whatever I do, I'm going to do it during the daytime. Girl, I'm so scared she's going to fall. She just fell. She took it like a champ, but I'm just like, ugh, it's like watching a kid just climb stuff. Oh, you said what I'm smoking on? I didn't even check the flavor. What am I having today? It's called something called Nobo Sherbet. They could have named it Dandelion Delight. Okay. It would have been okay with me, honey. What y'all got going? I'm not. I just kind of keep holding my camera like this, and when I hold it, if you can't tell, my cat's like shaking the table. So I'm just holding this, and sometimes when I hold it, it'll go off. Yeah, if I need to actually do something or pull up something that has personal information or something, I'll cut it off too. But yeah. And y'all, if you didn't know, we are going to be talking about the marine underworld. A lot of people don't know what's the difference between certain people, okay, and their gifts and what makes them a different breed of creature. And it definitely has to do with if you are a land creature or a water creature. And for someone like myself, who is, of the marine nature, a siren, there are quite a few people like me, even men, okay? But there are certain levels that you would roam at, that you would come from. There are certain animals that you would actually be bred from, okay? And a lot of people don't believe this, but we all come from the water. The ones who don't, it's because you have double bred in the dry places, meaning you come from different dry area creatures of the land. Okay, and that is common as well. So a lot of people think just because you look similar to people in essence and hue, okay, that means something. It does not. Okay, you know when you are a difference in DNA than other people, and it's not something to be insecure about, competitive about. It just means learn yourself. It is okay to be who you are, where you are, what you're from. The saddest part is that everybody wants to be the same thing. Everybody wants to be the top thing and compete. And sometimes you have to take away the whitewash mentality of who's on top. Okay. In a collective where we all are working together for a common purpose, if we were all in our natural state of thinking and loving the earth, that means that there's not one purpose greater than the other. And that's something a lot of people don't want to hear, but we are like ants. Okay. And regardless, we are not the biggest predator. So we are here to feed the land or something on it as well. Meaning, you are absolutely able to be hunted by something that is a greater species than you. You are not the biggest top dog, but humans want to be the biggest top dog. And honestly, that is a problem for nature, for our mentality, for ego. That is what creates ego. Putting yourself in a position that was not made for you to be put in. That's what created ego in itself because you started competing amongst yourself, lovers of yourselves. To this day, a lot of people still compete in an unnecessary way. But if you're going to compete, compete for resources, compete for time to rest, compete for time to meditate and just be. You're not supposed to be competing. I think it's crazy that a lot of people say be in the world but not of the world, but most people are absolutely of the world. That's why I don't trust any denominations or people who get behind certain things because all of them are running to the internet trying to prove they're not like the world while doing the same thing that the world does. If you love who you say you love and you are not on orders, you have no reason to be on this Ouija board fake promoting anything other than your vanity. Okay? You love God in private and God loves you back out loud. That's the God you serve. And you don't have to show that. You don't have to prove that. The God you say you believe in is not the same God we're supposed to be aligned with. And that's why a lot of people hate me being here because I don't come here to push the narrative of, oh my God, I'm coming here to see you guys minstrel for these people. I'm tired of seeing people minstrel for people who are waiting for you to meet fate with a dirty soul. Okay, it's a difference because a lot of them, if the water doesn't recognize you, she won't cleanse you. So past that point, it's a lot of people who are literally doing you like Little Nicky. If you ever seen the movie Little Nicky, they're hyping up, yeah, let's sin, let's do this, let's do that. And guess what? You don't have enough time to be doing that. They already know this, but because a lot of them have already chosen which path and which master they want to serve, they're pushing it on you too. So if you can push back against, the people playing with your time and your mind, at that point, it's up from there. Okay. And a lot of it is going to be releasing a lot of the stereotypes, a lot of the feelings and emotions that are not your own, man and woman. Okay. Neither man or woman is equally yoked enough to pretend you have all the answers. And I'm going to say this again as a woman species. Okay, women are not aligned enough to be speaking on femininity because femininity is dependent upon the men that choose you. Okay, and if you don't have men to protect you, the last thing you need to be worried about is femininity. You're going to be an extinct being if you don't have a tribe. Okay, and tribes are based around men. And because there are more women than men, most women don't understand you are going to share a man because that's what tribes are. Okay, there's no whoever told you I can do this, I can. Tribes are family. I'm sorry, y'all don't understand that. Tribes are family, like everything in nature. There's no need to separate you. There's no need to identify you by hair textures. It's not necessary. Okay, once you get past the we are all necessary, okay, we are all one. At that point, you need to understand you have a role. Have you been doing it or have you not? It's really that simple. If you're having major disconnects with people, even the people that look like you need to wonder about if you are actually in alignment with self. Because if you are in alignment with self, more and more people of your tribes are going to align with you, and you don't have to do much to get that alignment. It's going to be there. You're not going to have to force it. Okay. You're not going to have to reiterate it to yourself. You're not going to have to brainwash yourself into it. It's going to be there. What's understood does not have to be explained. That being said, if you ain't a hater, hit that like button. Let's dive into some knowledge if you guys are not scared. Okay. And before I do, y'all know me, more Mary Jane for the brain. May I be able to explain to you in all its correctism and factuality the knowledge that you need to get to your alignment. And for those of you who are already in alignment or close to there, okay, I pray nothing more for than you to reach your elevation, because what a lot of people don't understand is after you reach alignment, the next step is elevation. And you choose how quick that happens. No one else. Okay, only you. And for a lot of people, activating your knowledge, okay, is something that you have to do. Okay, you have to do it. Only you can do it. I don't drink, baby. I drink water and juice. Water, juice, tea, coffee if I want it. I'm not an alcohol drinker. If I have a shot or something like that, it's usually because I can't taste it. And usually it's for someone's birthday or something. Not even my own, because I don't even drink on my birthdays. Like I said, I used to like daiquiris. But as I got older, I didn't like daiquiris. I used to like just pina coladas. And really, I can have them without alcohol. So, am I really a drinker? No. I don't like the way alcohol feels in me. Now, if I need to thin my BLOOD, yeah. But other than that, nah, baby. We just keep that in the bag for prepping for the apocalypse and stuff, honey. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I don't know. I just feel like the older I get, certain stuff, the only thing I really need sometimes is my weed. And being honest, as time goes on, I still need less of that than usual too. And I feel like it's because the closer you get to certain things, there's nothing that can really slow down your evolvement of mind. For myself, the evolvement of mind is kind of what takes you to the point of not being able to bond with other people. It makes it almost impossible because your mind is always kind of in a place of overthinking or thinking about things that hold a higher purpose, like in your brain waves, than other people kind of give credit to. Meaning, when you talk about certain topics, a lot of people just kind of be like, yeah, but what can we do about that? I don't want to talk about that. Like it's almost like a turnoff talking about the truth. So, when you can find a space where you can be an adult, have adult conversations, and you don't have to pretend you are beneath your mental level that you're really on, it's really a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yes, indeed. I'm going to put a little bit more on here. So I'm curious because I can be. How many of you guys know anything about the marine nature of the ocean and the waters? And if you think you know anything, you're welcome to put it in the chat. I'm not here to agree or disagree. Certain people have their own experiences, okay? There are certain experiences I would know about, but a lot of people do have their own experiences. And I do my best not to deny people what they would consider their testimonies. But y'all know, for clout and a little bit of conversation, a lot of people do tell stories. So, what I wanted to come here and reiterate the most is people understanding why I am hell bent, okay, on explaining the creation stories of how a lot of us came to be. And all of us are not native tribes, some of us are underwater tribes. Everybody is not a land tribe, okay? I know a lot of people watch animations and different things, but a lot of you guys are water creatures. Some of you guys are wind creatures, tree people, different things like that. But we are going to deep dive into what you are. If you are not a person who is open to actually exploring the depth of what really is and not what you've been told to block out of your mind when it comes to your enlightenment, this is going to be a safe space for you, for your curiosity, and so on and so forth. You said not you. That's fine. Oh, that's fine. You said it's heartbreaking that humans have made over 800 species extinct. Oh, that's nothing. You think 800 species is all? I think that's a very low estimate. Like, I think that's one of the, like, a super low estimate, if you want me to be honest, when it comes to how I probably think it's like in the millions. It sounds crazy to say it like that, but yes, the world was so lush. Okay, if you were to look at the world 100 years ago, you'd understand what I mean. Okay, the world was so lush, so many more animals than humans. And now it's just at a point where it's honestly terrifying how many humans it is in overpopulation, which is why I don't think a lot of people understand depopulation is not a choice at this point. When you put too much, okay, people in one vicinity, the earth is going to make sure you know you can't do that. Okay, the earth is going to let you know you're upsetting the core. So, past a certain point, I think it's so scary that people don't think that moving in droves across the country is a bad idea. You know, like, you don't believe in earthquakes, do you? You don't believe in, like, I feel like the land knows when it's has too much pressure on it. So imagine people pretending that, after a long time they don't get stuff like this. Whatever you say. But yeah, how many of you guys think that you are familiar with the origin of the water people? Because that is what we're going to dive in today. And for those of you who know your history of origin, some of you guys were probably come to this region or actually were mixed with black people from different regions if you are of the black descent. People in different places. Some of those places we're going to show you on maps today. Some of them were not because they're not all US. Now, certain creatures are predominantly in Alaska and the Arctic areas. Now, for those of you who don't know, those areas have been manipulated a lot by weather, just by the underground infrastructure. So there are certain maps that are not going to align perfectly when it comes to the locations we're talking about. But for those of you who are able to follow migration of the animals, understand the concepts of adding global warming and other factors like that, I think this will be a very interesting take for those of you who are interested in that sort of knowledge. Now, that being said, don't be a hater, hit that like button. I am going to simply do this right here. What it do, everybody? And let's get started. For those of you, okay, who enjoy knowledge, let's dive in, shall we? Okay. Today we're going to be starting knowledge about how to tell if you are of the marine nature. And in the marine nature, we are going to start off talking about the nature of the men because the men are actually what shape the nature of the women species. Okay, so being if something is a male or a female species of the water is going to determine exactly what it is that these creatures will combine and create. So the first we are going to talk about is something that is very commonly known, and it is called the orca. Okay, the orca. Okay, now a little bit of backstory on the orca. They're also known as the killer whale. Okay, it is a toothed whale and the largest member, okay, of the oceanic dolphin family. Now we are going to deep dive into the different mechanisms, speech, and so on and so forth, that these species use to communicate because these were our similar, okay, and most familiar methods of communication as well. If you are of the marine nature species, we are going to be talking about, okay, other spirit animals as well, which is what I told you guys would be talking about. If it's not your cup of tea, don't drink it, okay? Now, it says here that only the extant species of the genus Orcanus, okay, it is recognizable by its distinct pigmentation, being mostly black on top while on the bottom and having recognizable white eye patches. Now, if you look and pay attention to the speed, they go really fast, 35 miles per hour. Okay, that's their maximum for swimming. Their mass weight is between 6,000 to 8,000, okay, almost 9,000 pounds, and that is just a female, okay? Usually the females are the biggest of all the species, of course, because they bore children, and the water species, that is the most common, okay? Usually with the woman being the bigger in the ocean, okay? Now, let's continue. It also says here that the lifespan, because I want you guys to understand lifespans, how we come to live, and why our lifespan is so short when it comes to being land creatures who have come out of the water. The longer you're out of the water as a unevolved species, because evolving out of water is not considered evolving, it's considered de-evolving because things in the water live longer. So if you look here at the lifespan, you're going to see it says in the wild, okay? Because a lot of these animals are taken out of the wild and put into zoos and performing places and things like that. And sadly, okay, their lifespans are shortened to where some of them only live 10, 20, not even 30 years, due to, of course, severe depression and so on and so forth, not having enough space, and so on and so forth. Also, they also drug the orcas and different species as well. Some of you may be more familiar with like the seals at Seal World and things like that, but a lot of these animals are forced to perform because they're highly intelligent, okay? Highly intelligent. Now, for those of you who don't understand why we're talking about these creatures, is because some of you guys are made from these creatures and they won't tell you what creatures you're made of. So you will never understand your spirit animals. Now, I said again, this is the orca, okay? You're welcome to do more research. We are going to deep dive this information on my Patreon for those of you who want to know the original names, species, original locations, their connections in the water. But we are going to deep dive and continue, okay? So stay tuned. Now, we're going to go to the next phase, which is going to explain a little bit about how they communicate, okay? Now, as you can see, this is a little bit cut off, and I apologize about that, but I will do my best to read it to you guys. But it says here, the apex predators, okay, of the ocean are these creatures, orcas. Now, they eat, okay, meaning they feed on other fish, seals, sea lions, dolphins, sharks, okay, other sea creatures, sea birds, and even other whales like belugas. And belugas are actually very large whales as well. And that is actually the next whale we are going to talk about, okay, which is the beluga, okay. Stay with me here because a lot of people don't understand there are not many sea creatures that would make us. Okay, not as many as they want to pretend. Okay, now there are a lot of men who are of the beluga tribe. Now, for those of you who don't understand, I want you to picture a lot of men who have foreheads very similar to belugas, as well as their eye spans and so on and so forth. But for these creatures as well, they often communicate using clicks, ticks, moos, whistles, squeals, screams, and so on. Okay, so I need you to understand how highly intelligent a lot of these mammals are compared to humans and how they communicate from long distances and so on and so forth. Okay, it is very, very highly sophisticated and worth knowing. And again, this is the beluga whale. Now, I want you to understand a little bit of the size difference in a dolphin and a beluga whale. Dolphins are it says here that dolphins are actually smaller, which they are, but I want you to understand how much smaller. Now, for this weight, the female ranges to about 1,500 to about 2,000, 2,500 pounds, okay? But dolphins do not weigh that much. Dolphins range anywhere between about 800 to about 1,500, sometimes maybe 16 to 1,800 in weight. So dolphins are actually the minimal when it comes to being considered a whale. But a lot of people still don't consider dolphins part of that family because they are not the heavier of the species. They're actually the smaller, okay? Now, again, if you know anything about the communication of these species, we're going to deep dive this in my Patreon, okay? It's very, very, very intimate, knowing how to communicate with yourself, your spirit animals, and if you are of the marine tribe. These are going to be things you're going to need to remember because if times ever did go to where they should go and will go, Okay, you need to gonna understand that the language you speak is not the language you've been given. It's going to be the language of the nature and the land and the water. Okay, so the only thing you're gonna need to survive mostly is going to be understanding your earth creatures. Okay, and when they move, you're gonna need to move, and you're gonna need to understand why they're moving, how they're moving, the sounds they use when they move, and so on and so forth, so that you can keep up. It is really that simple. Okay, and they also can communicate with you. So knowing what sounds mean what they do, what are signs of aggression, what are signs of leading, and so on and so forth, is very important. Knowing what colors they see and specify, and understand they are mammals, and they usually have super clear vision in and out of the water. Okay, so if they come up to the surface to see you, please know they are more than curious. Okay, they are more than curious. Also, beluga whales are very different in their human like activity, meaning belugas have a vertebrae that allows them to move their necks in the same range as human beings, meaning their motions look very human like. Okay, they are able to imitate human facial expressions as well as change, okay, the location of their vertebrae to make it seem as if they are tilting their heads, okay, turning full range, twist from left to right. Okay, I need you to understand that there are different levels of complexity in each sea creature. Now, I want you guys to keep up with me here, okay? And we're gonna go to the next creature here, okay? This is the beluga, but I want you to capture something. Belugas are known as the canaries of the sea, okay? Because they produce many different sounds, squeals, including whistles, squeals, moos, chirps, and clicks, okay? They do rely on their hearing and ability to echo locate, okay? An ability that is actually within sirens, okay? So a lot of people are not water sirens. We also have land sirens, and they are different creatures as well. We are going to be talking about your spirit animals, and some of your spirit animals are extinct. Okay, these happen not to be, but there are some certain species of these animals that are in extinction or close to it. Okay, now I say again, they use sound to navigate and hunt for prey. That's also how they communicate with each other. Now, I want you guys to stay where I'm going. I'm not sure if you guys understand, but we're going to be talking about something called Nelgen, okay? So give me a second. Let's pull it up here and see if I can pull it up for you guys. This is an Elgin. This is what humans bore of to get out of the land and walk. And I know people are going to say, that is impossible. That is not what we come from. I do not care what you believe. Okay, these are Nelgen. They also communicate just like humans. And at certain depths, their webs disappear and their hands become full range of humanoids. Okay, full range. Okay, they're also able to split, okay, their capillaries into different parts to where they're able to function in human form, which is how most of us who are sirens came to be. Okay, now if you didn't understand, this is also why they try to keep certain species away from each other in the water, such as, okay, Ninja, as well as dolphins. But when you mix them together, guess what? You get our weird looking asses. Okay? Now, for a lot of people who don't understand, most of you are going to look like the spirit animals you come from. Okay? And it's okay. Most of them are ancient beauties. Okay? They are ancient beauties. And a lot of you guys have been taught to see with a lens you are not given in any depth of the ocean, because reflectors are not something you need. In fact, your only reflectors are of your eyes, meaning as long as you can see the spectrum of color range around you, that would be what guides you the most. And these are also what a lot of people try to consider as aliens, and they're not. Okay? For those of you who don't know, these are one of the apex predators of the waters as well. So for those of you who understand anything about the mermaid nature, there are mermaids, okay? There are very few mermen, okay? But there are more ninja than anything in the water, meaning half man, okay? Half well. And for those who don't understand this, these are also, okay, the creatures that they used to pose a lot of the earlier, okay, pigments of gods and things of the waters. These are the creatures they were looking at, but they were not able to articulate exactly what they were. But this is what they were. They were ninja. Now, if you don't know where they come from, they're actually more prone to be in the Arctic areas, colder areas. They also have been said to be spotted in places like Alaska, which is why they pay you quite a bit of money to go there, because a lot of them are just trying to experiment with you. Okay, they too shaky to do it, so they like, hey, we'll throw you some money on your taxes to go live over here about with these ninja. Okay, but yeah, you guys are welcome to do your research, but I'm going to deep dive this topic so that you guys understand if you are of ninja or if you are any other species, because there are 4 more marine species of similar likeness but different species names. Now, some of them also have different color pigmentation that I'll be breaking down, because the different pigmentation is going to be a protection mechanism the further they go down into the waters. So yeah, stay tuned. This is something that I actually enjoy doing. I think it's very important to deep dive into information like this. And for those of you who would like to deep dive with me later, stay tuned. I am going to be deep diving this information in my Patreon for you guys, because y'all know it's a lot of content thieves on here, and we don't want any content thieves. Okay? We don't got time for that. Okay? So stay tuned. Like I said, certain information I'm not going to be putting on here because I don't have to. I only want to share certain information with people who will actually have good intentions. A lot of people like to steal content and then pretend they're the messenger and Jesus told them and whoever told them. It's okay to cite your sources, but like I said, knowledge is key, but this is about identity, and everyone is not the same identity. So certain things are not going to hold the same weight for you. Now, we are talking about water creatures specifically. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the land creatures. Now, a lot of you guys as spirit animals are land creatures. Those are the tribes you come of, being one with land creatures. Everyone is not a water creature. Okay? Most water creatures communicate the same way the high level apex predators communicate in the waters, which would be more of a siren nature. So if you are not of the siren nature and have a background strictly being from Scotland, Ireland, Poland, or somewhere in the Italy areas, you are not going to be of these descents. Okay? Like I said, check your last names. Your last names tell you a lot more of your origin than anything. Okay? And like I said, building a bond with nature absolutely is still reliant on how much you bond with your spirit animals. And it doesn't matter if your spirit animals are extinct or not. It's still important to know. Okay, extinct or not, what has been was. And it is okay to reflect on that, because that is the only reason why you are here. Okay, you give respect and reverence where it's due. And the things and the memories of what was before you is something that you can never afford to forget. You can't forget what you were made to evolve from. Okay. And for those of you who are not a hater, thank y'all for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all. I do. I do. Okay. What's up, Gala? Gala, Gala. You say you are a water creature. When you get a dog, it'll have to love swimming. I'm at the beach 2 to 3 times a week. Ooh, where you at? Where's the beach, lovely? It's a lot of beaches out here. You must be in like Florida somewhere or Virginia. Where are you at? I always wonder what it would be like to stay close to the beach, but then again, I just feel like it's too risky to stay close to certain like huge amounts of water. But I guess it depends on where y'all at too. Some of y'all are probably used to being around like the sunny, like if you're in Cali or different places, I don't even think they get snow or stuff, right? So some of y'all are probably used to good weather all year, 24/9 for 50 years straight. I wouldn't know what that's like. I don't even think I would. I think I'd be nervous if the season never changed at all. I'd be like, Nah. I'll be a little nervous, y'all. Where did I put it? Let me see my phone real quick. Hold on. Let's see here. Y'all, I'm on 1% again. I am literally on 1% again. This is ridiculous. Again. Y'all probably can't see that. I am on 1% again. Again. I ain't never keep no charge. I'm just gonna sit this on up here. It is what it is. Okay. I'm not gonna sweat it. They need something, they'll find a way. Okay. I don't think people like understand. When I tell y'all I be so like don't need a phone, don't really care. It's only because I know certain people, hey, how you doing type stuff. Other than that, y'all, I would be a house phone shawty my whole life probably. That's how much I really don't talk to people unless I got to. For real. And I don't like that because I don't drink. What's up, Gala? I am chill. I don't know about fun. It depends on what you like to do for fun. But I'm fun to me. I like to be around me. So the stuff I do to myself for myself, that's fun to me, honey. I be like, ooh, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go here. Most times by myself. Okay. I enjoy my alone time. I do. I love my alone time. But I feel like you actually got to love yourself, like who you are, to enjoy your alone time. It's a beautiful thing, if you ask me, when you can wake up and like who you are, but actually love being alone with yourself. At that point, oh, it's over with from there, okay? Waking up and then you be like, but I love me, okay? Like anybody that kind of interferes with that is kind of like I really just don't like you. Okay, because you're fucking with something in me type stuff. Like, yeah, I can't be around that. I'm goofy. Okay, even when I'm by myself, I'm goofy a lot of times. I'd be like, okay, it's wonderful to know God has a sense of humor. Okay, if you know, you know. Okay, like I said, and if you like yourself enough, you're gonna be like, I am a funny bitch. Okay, you gonna be tripping yourself out. You ain't talking about nothing. Cause baby, I be in there like, self, you need your ass whooped. Pink Diamond Star, what it do? You said this topic is so interesting. I think it's interesting too. I think if a lot of people, more people were honest about certain stuff, the topics will get even more interesting. But because people ain't gonna be honest about stuff, you can't really expect that now. Okay, people be doing and saying anything for clout, so it ain't too much to talk about. Just listen to people be like, yeah, whatever you say, whatever. Cause y'all, when I tell y'all, I be having hella shit. I just be like, let me just keep this to myself, honey. Okay, cause when I tell y'all the tea be good, the tea be good, and it ain't even my tea. It's like just what's going on around us, the different stuff that's about to come to pass that people are waiting on the president and the news to talk about. Y'all. It's juicy, okay? It's juicy. It's some good stuff going on. But I think it's necessary. It really is. I don't like to see anybody have to get set back through stuff, but a lot of people don't understand that setback is going to bring you closer to families altogether. It's going to bring you back probably to your roots. And it's okay. A lot of people need to be brought back to their roots. Okay, if only they knew. That's probably the only thing keeping a lot of y'all is being close enough to them or having somebody of your bloodline still close to them roots. Okay, what y'all got going today? I did. I always do. I be trying to tell people things, but they don't listen. They be worried about minuscule things. I'm not here to worry about minuscule things. Okay, the land has to purge, and a lot of people don't understand. As long as you're on land, you need to be following the land and listening to her. You don't have time to listen to people who are scared. As long as you're on the right side of her, she's gonna make sure you're okay. She's always gonna place your feet on those higher places. Okay, that's what happens when you trust her and not the men who are destroying her. Like I said, yes, out of the mouth of babes. And a lot of people don't understand some of these babes have been here for hundreds of years trying to tell you the same thing. If people only realize that the only wind you really breathe is children, that's the only wind you're breathing, because that's what blows the wind. And that's why a lot of times this world needs your children. Okay, they never want you to slow down. And one thing about, okay, when the wind stops blowing, the water doesn't flow the same way. So it's easy to manipulate like the wind. And one thing about power, you'll understand why they keep trying to put certain things in animation, anime, whatever you want to call it, whether it's Naruto, whether it's Dragon Ball Z. They're always trying to let you know about shape shifting and different things of the land. But I think it's crazy because they will never allow you the knowledge and the alignment to actually be able to do these things. And there are so many people full of fear, okay, neglect, self internalized hatred, and so on and so forth. A lot of people forbade themselves of evolving. And imagine a time where you need that evolvement to protect you. You've always needed that to protect you. And someone has been purposely, day by day, taking you out of your evolvement. So when the time comes, it doesn't matter what comes at you, you haven't evolved enough to surpass it the way you've been made to. So what you were made to, grow some flippers and some webs and swim through, okay, and actually be able to start breathing in, okay, there's so much crap in your body, okay, you're not going to be able to. Too much mucus, you're not going to be able to breathe it through your. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand the wingspan you need to breathe in water is probably about 3 inches bigger than our human lung capacity as humans, but you can stretch your lungs. It's different breathing exercises and things you could do. And they always tell you that you'll choke and this and things. Um, you can breathe water. You can. That's why they're able to bring you back after they say you've gone unconscious and been in water for minutes. And yeah, they just have to clear your airways because you are mixed as a water and a land creature. When you take away those coping adaptability mechanisms, you're going to adapt to whatever environment it becomes. And I'm saying again, water's always wet. So if you don't understand what you're going to need to shapeshift to, all you need to know is when you get in that water and it comes for you, you're going to be looking at me like, what is this? Okay? Because you don't know your forms. You don't know how to get in your forms. And at that point, you become nothing more than prey to feed everything else because you choose to be a sitting duck. It is really that simple. And imagine acting like people are trying to scare you. This isn't about fear. Fear is not an emotion you were even made to feel. And at this point, you're arguing with people who understand you're still talking to me from places I can't feel. So, and I don't feel sorry for certain things, certain situations. Those aren't our feelings. So, past a certain point, it's sad when you're watching people not understand something gave you things that don't exist, and you're still here battling thine self, trying to uphold things that don't exist in any realm. Just your mental pathology here. And someone is literally keying at you because you can't get past those blockages in your brain waves. And it's really the water. Okay. Sometimes not being close enough to that water to get that release is what a lot of people are not going to have. Okay. Like I said, if you want the knowledge, it's always there. And a lot of people come here in the name of Jesus and everything else, take my knowledge, and then be like, God told me to tell you this. God ain't told you shit. Okay? State your sources. Because lying on my wind is what brings me to most of you guys to call you out in the first place. Okay? Don't lie on my wind. I can't tell lies, so you're not going to lie in the name of me. At that point, you become a problem for me, and I don't answer for you. I only answer for me. Okay? I'm not Jesus. And I'm not turning the other cheek. So don't expect it. Yes, those who have ears. It's sad that, like I said, a lot of people think that the world is nice. You can't be nice in a world full of vitriol and bigotry. Okay? At that point, it's either join the circus or own that motherfucker. And I don't know about you, but I'll take, okay, being a black Hitler for 1,000 Alex. Okay? I'll take that. Okay? Because I get tired of the insolence. Okay, a lot of people love their sin. I don't think people understand how much people love their sin. Okay, people love their sin so much they are giving their whole bloodlines up in the name of I just want to be gay. Okay, I don't care what it is. This is what I like. This is what I want to do. I'm free. I can do what I want. Who I don't care who judge me. Okay, then you got women up here. I'm finna do this. I'm finna have all these bodies. And I'm gonna say this again. Most women cannot find, okay, a man worthy of having a tribe with. Okay, you are you are in a world where there are more women than men in every single species. That being said, in nature, usually everything has a pride, a tribe, and there are multiple women per man. Okay, like sister wives, all the way down to the lions, all the way down to the bears, all the way down to the ants, and so on and so forth. It goes down to tribes. And everything sticks together. I don't care if it's 3 or 4 of y'all over here. This you have a tribe, so you are never alone, and you always have, okay, a man to battle for you all. Okay, you do. What do you think he's battling to protect? His tribe. Okay, a lot of people are playing stupid, ignorant, whitewashed games with polygamy. And polygamy for mammals is not the same as land creatures, okay, who are really not mammals. Okay, they are of a different essence. And I say again, you can't always do what looks good and what seems like works for other people. That's where you become spiritually tainted and you can never align again. So when I talk about certain things like why a lot of women don't understand by nature, you are supposed to have a leader male, and he chooses usually 2 to 3 females. Okay, that's who he usually chooses, 2 to 3 females. Okay, and he usually protects every single last one of you. And when other men, okay, come to try to provoke him or taunt you guys, that's who usually protects you all the way into his old age until he's giving usually a young buck, okay, a young whatever he is to replace him and do the same thing. Okay. And sometimes he will even, okay, go through the land looking to find someone to place him and fight him in battle. Okay, if he wins, okay, that's who he will. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand how nature really works. It's not women who choose; they're chosen. Okay, so when it comes to authority, a lot of people still don't understand. A divine masculine has to choose you too. You can't just be chosen by a divine woman. Okay, they work in cohesion in the water. Okay, that's why you see everything in its school of whatever it is. They flock together. They understand everything by nature per tribe. And it's the same thing for you if women were allowed to equally yoke. Okay, men are not allowed to equally yoke. In fact, men unequally yoke themselves. Women are taught to overly yoke themselves. So there's always going to be a disconnect, okay, in one or the other, to the point where it creates homosexuality because the only people who can relate to the nature of doing whatever they want sexually with no repercussions usually and at a young age, okay, and it's stroked and egged on and kikied by everyone, are young boys. Okay, and it's sad because I don't think people understand young boys are way more preyed upon than young girls. They are. Okay, and they're preyed upon by equally men and women. Okay, a lot of women be trying to look extra good, not for grown ass men. It's so that they can hear young boys and teenagers and YNs and other people who are probably old enough to be their children tell them how fine they are. I said what I said. It don't take all of the things that we see all the time. And a lot of people don't like to call it out because it's just so common. Okay, women acting like straight smuts, okay, to get the attention of a whole lot of men. Women do not want to grow up, and this is causing way more pedophilia. This is causing way more jealousy and envy between mothers and daughters because mothers are still trying to compete with their daughters in youth. Your daughters are supposed to surpass you. They're supposed to be more beautiful than you. They're supposed to replace you in everything. Okay, so imagine when you're not putting your daughters in position because you still want to compare yourself as the pillar of youth when your youth is fucking gone. Okay, imagine robbing something in their youth of their youth while always reiterating that boys need this and guys need this. And what do you need? What do young women need to be able to adapt, okay, to their own versions of femininity without becoming stereotypical, all the same personality? Like I said, we live in an age where most women, especially black women, I grew up in predominantly white areas, and I still feel like I'm more connected to my blackness than girls who've been in the hood their whole life are trying to be. And it's scary because, baby, I didn't move to the hood till I was grown. Okay, so there's no reason why people who've been in the hood their whole life, still in the hood their whole life, are pretending they're white girls now, online behind mics and shit. It's sad. It's disgusting. It's self-loathing. Okay, and it's unnecessary. There's no reason that every black girl in America, okay, and women all over the world should have the same personality. Who are you bitches? Literally, who are you bitches and why? I will say again, it's very hard to get to know people, especially other women, because other women are at a time where they feel like they're competing with nobodies. Y'all watch way too much reality TV. You see yourself as these non biological women on these shows. Okay. You're leading and carrying conversations and hatred and envy towards other women. Okay. Over these things. And sadly, a lot of men are following the same agenda when it comes to the gossiping, when it comes to wasting time, acting like fangirls over people who are getting overpaid to distract you. I say this about athletes. I say this about entertainers. I say this about anybody, even teachers. Some people are underpaid to distract you and spit lies at you, and then some people are overpaid to do the same thing. Okay, so you have to think about, regardless of what you want to be in a world full of wrongs, it's the hardest thing to do is right. The hardest thing that you're able to do, okay, is actually wanting to do right. Everything else is easy to do. Okay, you want to slap somebody, easy. Okay, you want to, break the law, get a ticket, drive too fast, like it's easy, okay, to do wrong. So easy. Okay, but when you want to speak life, when you want, okay, to find calm and healing and reserve, I just feel like it's sad that we live in a time where you can't remind people that you see them, regardless of all of the Babylonian false accolades in this slavery. A lot of people have forgotten you're still a slave. Money doesn't have value. They're playing a big game of Monopoly, and just like the money in Monopoly, the money they give you, okay, it has no value once it's taken out of the root of the trees. Okay, it passes away like a flower in a vase. Okay, it begins to wither and repurpose. So you have to understand, like, when it comes to just understanding where we are, it's scary. I feel like a lot of people are playing with their own time. The people who have children at a time like now, who are still committing gluttony on camera for some views, still over advertising their disconnects with their families. And there's just a lot of people who are going to allow time itself to wipe them out. Okay. And when I say within one to two generations, I really mean just one. One generation is all it's going to take for a lot of people now, sadly. And for those of you who are not on those, paths of not wanting to hear the lies, I commend you, because it's so much easier to keep believing what's easy to believe compared to having to do the work, having to ask for forgiveness, having to set yourself apart. It's so easy. Okay, it's easy to follow what everybody else follows. It's easy to do stuff that hasn't worked in 500 years. Okay, it's easy to lie to yourself about jumping around and being a minstrel and doing stuff in the name of vanity. It's easy to tell yourself that you're online in the name of Jesus when Jesus would never tell you to use Satan's technology. I seriously doubt that Jesus would want you on a Black Mirror Ouija board trying to tell the world about him. Because why are you using it too? You're supposed to be in the world but not of it. Why are you on social media? Why are you worried about witches and warlocks? Why are you worried about what other women are doing? Why are you worried about who's exotical and who's not? What are you? Okay, a lot of, like I said, it's disgusting how many people are obsessed with other people. And a lot of people are on here making response videos to people who don't even know they exist. This is how into their own ego most people on here are. I never call people out unless you come for me or you take side shots. I hate when people don't directly say stuff. Okay, people be up here like, I hate women like this. I hate people like this. Just say why. Because you watch videos of people when no one makes you click on stuff. It's your envy, okay, and jealousy of other people. Like imagine having 20,000 subscribers and y'all be so jealous hearted and envious. Y'all don't even want somebody with 800 subscribers to get more subscribers, so you start talking shit about them. That's what y'all do. Truth is truth. And a lot of y'all like to pew pew the messenger and take the truth. And then just like that, y'all be following me for months at a time, years at a time, repeating my content as if I can't tell it's my content. But you're the same people who are wishing DEATH on me. How you stealing content and then wishing DEATH on me? That's crazy. Where you gonna get your content from then? Like I said, the older you get, the more you realize that a lot of people have to be purged because they don't want to leave this earth. They don't want to leave these earthly bodies. A lot of y'all always praying in the name of lies, and you still will never pass away in the name of what y'all say y'all believe in. Jesus and the church and everything. Y'all will never pass away in the name of these things. You ain't doing it now. Y'all will never stop sinning in the name of anything. Like I said, the highest forms of witchcraft are all through the church. That's why you have to pretend to drink blood every fifth Sunday and all. Stop acting like a lot of y'all don't understand witchcraft. Half of y'all in the church are the poor witchcrafters who couldn't make it into Divine Nine organizations. You didn't have the money. If you had the money, you'd be somewhere. Yeah, you would. You didn't have the money. So you couldn't act bougie enough to get in these spaces and places. And sadly, it's not just the women. It's guys who do the same thing. And it's not for you. All that minstrelling and bucking and tapping in the name of whitewashed schools and Greek symbols. That's crazy. But imagine if you could take the same time to know your land, to know your tribes, to know your history as y'all take to learn all these whitewashed, okay, steps and military-like formations and brainwashing and hazing in the name of Greek freaks and sodomizers. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Because like I said, I feel like past a certain point, it's hard to be happy for people who are ruining it for other people under them. It's not an example when you're leading people to the slaughter. You're teaching other young girls, other young guys, this is, what you want to do as you get older the whole time. It's going to break them. It's going to have them fighting their identities. It's going to have them doing sketchy things to say they're a part of stuff. Okay, all this under the table hazing and trying to do what white people do, it makes no sense. You have your own everythings, your own holidays, your own favorites, your own songs, your own styles, your own gifts. Okay, and like I said, you don't have to disrespect white people in the name of yourself because white people have their own spiritual tribes too. But a lot of them are trying to be your spiritual tribes, which makes it really hard to bond with certain people because when it comes to bonding, it usually ends up in someone taking someone else's identity, which is why I don't overshare certain things here because what we talk about here is not for everybody. If you notice, all of a sudden, white people are talking about priestesses. Oh, priestesses of Hollywood, priestesses. There's not one person in Hollywood who's an actual priestess. All of y'all are gay witchcrafters. In other words, you can't perform anything because you don't have a womb and you're not doing things properly. So you would have to use the wombs and essence of other people like myself, which is the only reason why black people exist in Hollywood, period, because they need us for rituals. That's it. Has to be someone in our likeness because that's the only people who can use voodoo and hoodoo against us. No one else can because, well, what we call out to doesn't recognize bloodlines that's not of itself. And like I said, there are a lot of black people who are so confused. They are not mixed with certain bloodlines that are here. They think they are, but they're not. A lot of them are damn near 20, 30% foundational black American and still got their fist in the air type shit. It's true. And like I said, we're going to talk about our spirit animals on here. We're going to talk about our origins, okay? If you are wanting to know your blood type, okay, based on your DNA and which elements of rock to mix it with to see the colors of your origin, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Certain things I give out for free, certain things are small fee, but I feel like small things to a giant when it comes to your knowledge and your alignment. And certain things you can actually learn and keep to yourself. I don't care if you take it and put it on your channels. I don't really care. The goal is to align. And like I said, when certain people activate their knowledge, it's up from there. Okay, there are people who are made to surpass you. Many people are going to be made to surpass you, and you can't be scared of aligning people because the only way, as a collective, you can get where you're going is to make sure, okay, everybody, okay, is strong. Like I said, you're only as strong as your weakest link, so there must be no weakest links. Okay, so imagine a time where instead of competing, you need to just be listening and resting in knowledge so that you can share it properly if you're going to share it, so that you can uplift people properly, so you can actually practice and meditate and cleanse and whatever it is you need to do properly. And that's the point we're at. That's the point we should have been at. Okay, so like I said, everybody's here trying to be a truth teller. It ain't just about truth telling, it's also about practicing what you preach. It's also about aligning with other people. It's not always about you pretending you're the only chosen one. If there were that many chosen ones, you'd be able to come together and have one of the biggest fortresses in America right now. Okay, so somebody's lying. Maybe damn near everybody, if you ask me. So as somebody who's going to stand on business about what I'm talking about, I didn't go get 10 acres for no reason. Okay, if I can go get 10 acres, that means I pretty much have a city, right? Okay. At that point, the only thing left to do is build. So a lot of people are lying about wanting to build. That's all I can say. Because the space is always there, the opportunity is always there. And when you realize that, there's no rush on it because a lot of people would be ungrateful. A lot of people don't come until the work is done. And for me, I take that personal. Okay, it's a lot of people who are gonna be blessed and enjoy and appreciate certain things before things come to pass. And I'm very much one of those people who love to support people who, are there from the beginning, if that makes sense. See the vision. And there's a lot of people who have great visions right now of their own. I'm here for all of it. Sadly, when you come here and speak truth, a lot of people act like you against people's growth and this and that. No, it's exposing people for lying is not the same as not being able to clap for people. I'm able to clap for everybody who's is their season. Okay, it's just not a lot of people's season, and they're trying to force it to be. Imagine trying to force other people out of their time. Okay, a lot of y'all have been here 5, 10, 15 years. Sit the fuck down. Go get a new job. Okay, do something useful. You've been here for how many years sitting here lying? Okay, over a little YouTube check or whatever you're doing. Let people come here and tell their truth because a lot of people are living lies and they don't want to. If you want to live a lie, hide behind different tactics and pathologies and religions, or do that. But stop trying to block everybody from freeing their minds because you want to be bound. Bind yourself, focus on the things that you say you believe in, trust in it, and let other people use their free will. People don't need your free will to make their decisions, they have their own. Okay, like I said, I hope everyone who comes here with good intention is nothing more than abundant, okay, and protected and blessed the rest of the year and on out. Okay, like I said, it's a beautiful thing to align, but you have to understand aligning is not just about you. You are only as strong as your weakest link. Okay, tighten up. Okay, that's all I can say. And I'm at a point where I don't really have time for anyone who doesn't understand the tighten up process. Okay, and it's deeper than a lot of people think it is. It's internal spiritually. Okay. It's a oh my God, I gotta shift my mind, body, soul in this thing. Okay. And a lot of y'all gonna get there. A lot of y'all are already damn near there. A lot of y'all are passing, elevating, and getting to different points in your consciousness to where you can actually expand how you articulate. So past that point, I congratulate you because you're in Babylon. Mind, body, soul, you're slave. Okay, you aren't made to unslave. These you're in the days of the week for a reason. Not WEAK, the days of the week. Okay, so when you remember that, the strongest, okay, most gangster shit you could ever do is get your mind, body, soul in a place where they don't want you to have none of that. Okay, get it. Okay, I don't care what race you are, get it aligned. Who doesn't deserve to be aligned? Okay, if you're not of ill intention, if you're not a culture vulture, if you're not a racist, okay, if you're do your thing. Okay, somebody gotta lead by example. Okay, because a lot of people ain't practicing what they preaching. They just preaching. Shut up. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. For those of you who didn't know, I am going to deep dive our marine, okay, spirit animals that we started on today. There are two more wells that I'm going to add into the Patreon for you guys who are interested. And my Patreon, I have to relist it in here because it is under a different name. Yeah, I had two Patreons, but I'm going to put a different one in here for you guys in the description. I'll try to put it up like in the next hour or two. If I take a little longer, y'all forgive me, but I'm definitely going to try to put it up for you guys who want to join and get your private information and intellect in a safe space, okay, and have those private conversations, questions, all of those things on a personal level, okay? Until then, y'all please do be safe if you're going to be getting out. Okay, thank y'all for tuning in. All of you who hit the like button because y'all not no haters. Okay, thank y'all so much. I might be back later, but then again, I might not. Okay, we'll see. Okay, I'll be busy probably riding the wind. But for those of you who are not, rest well. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys later. Toodles.